Deep in the heart of Raleigh, North Carolina, where modern suburbs now sprawl, there once stood a mighty forest, a place of towering pines and whispering oaks, owned by a man named William R. Poole. They say his spirit still lingers here, riding a ghostly white stallion through the woods he loved. Welcome to the tale of the Poole Road Ghost, a story of wealth, loss, and a love for nature that even death couldn't end. Who was William Poole? William R. Poole was born in 1796, a man who turned 50 cents into a fortune. By the mid-19th century, he owned 1,600 acres of pristine woodland in what's now Raleigh. A towering figure, Poole was as grand as the pines he cherished. He rode a magnificent white stallion, a beast so regal it stopped folks in their tracks. Day after day, he patrolled his forest, studying every tree. To him, they weren't just timber, they were family. Cutting one down? Unthinkable unless absolutely necessary. Poole wasn't just a conservationist before his time. He was a businessman, a justice, and later a county commissioner. He helped build Raleigh's courthouse in 1882, but his heart stayed in the woods, with his trees and his horse. A love story with a woman from Johnston County ended in heartbreak, and Poole never married. Instead, he poured his soul into his land, the Civil War and the loss. Then came the Civil War, tearing through the South like a storm. By 1865, Union forces closed in on Raleigh. Poole, ever the shrewd businessman, hid his wealth, rumored to be gold, deep in his woods. But his true treasure? That white stallion. He couldn't bear the thought of Yankees taking it, so he tethered it in a hidden grove, with hay and water, hoping it'd stay safe. One sunny day, as Poole sat alone on his porch, raiders arrived, half in Union blue, half in scavenged rags. They'd heard of his fortune and demanded answers. Poole stayed silent, even as they dragged him behind a horse to his mill and burned it to ash. Beaten and bruised, he held firm. But then, a soft whinny echoed from the oaks. The raiders followed the sound and found the stallion, tied to a tree, gleaming like a ghost. It was the most beautiful horse they'd ever seen. Poole begged them to leave it be, but they didn't listen. They took the horse, shoving Poole into the dirt. As they rode off, the stallion fought its new rider, but it was gone. Poole never saw it again. Friends said he grieved that horse like a lost child. It broke something in him. The ghostly legacy Poole survived the war and lived to 93, dying in 1889. In his will, he demanded that 75 acres of his woods, Poole's woods, stay untouched, a sanctuary for his trees. For years it was, but progress crept in. By the 1920s, developers carved up the land for homes, parking lots, strip malls, and that's when the stories began. Locals swore they saw a rider on a white horse, always just out of reach, galloping through the shrinking woods. A big man like Poole, astride a stallion that shimmered in the moonlight. Others heard heavy footsteps at night, circling houses. Children woke to sounds outside their windows, and fathers found massive footprints leading nowhere. Some said the horse ran alone, searching for its master. Others believed Poole himself guarded his land, angry at the axes and saws. One tale stands out. A logging company bought part of Poole's woods, expecting rich timber. But when they cut the trees, every trunk was rotted inside, worthless. Was it nature or Poole's spirit protecting his forest one last time? Modern Raleigh and the legend's end. Today, Poole Road is lined with homes and businesses. The woods are mostly gone, and the ghost stories have faded. Kids play outside without fear, and no one reports hoofbeats in the night. But the legend of William Poole lives on. They say he loved his trees and his horse so fiercely that his spirit couldn't let go. Maybe he's at peace now, his woods a memory, his stallion finally by his side. Drive down Poole Road at dusk, and you might feel it, a whisper of the past, a shadow in the trees. Raleigh's grown, but its ghosts don't forget. William Poole, the man who started with 50 cents and ended with a legend, still rides in the stories we tell. Thanks for joining us in the shadows of Raleigh's past. If you enjoyed this tale, share it and explore more forgotten stories. Until next time, keep an eye on the woods. You never know who's watching.